What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.
Hey, Ballbusters, Bates here with your friend and mine, Ray Mungus, and aren't you gonna say hello on episode 22 of Way of Life Live? What's good in the hood tonight, Mungus?
Not too much. I'm glad you have the energy that I don't. That's definitely a plus.
I had a really good bowel movement before this episode, so it's like a shot of like espresso, man.
I was gonna expect that you had a balls.
No, I'm out of balls. The energy drink,
shame.
all right? The energy drink, people.
I love imagining it's Chris doing that the cock gobbling ball thing.
It's got a death.
You remember that?
No.
You might not have been there. You have to see it in person to really understand what I'm talking about. And then I'm just making it sound even weirder. Let's move on.
Wait, hold on. No, you know what? I think I do know what you're talking about.
Remember when it I can't really describe it. It was like a physical mannerism. I think he was making fun of Mike, and he's just like pretending to take two dicks at once.
Yeah. All right, that's exactly what I was thinking. All right,
He's
yeah.
like every time Mike spoke up, he's like, oh, it's hilarious.
Oh man, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
times.
I do remember that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm seeing Chris doing it in my head.
Of course, those are the memories that are, they pop in your head,
Oh man, good stuff there.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I definitely wish I had a balls, the energy drink.
Yeah, I need to go buy another case. I'm probably gonna wait till I'm back in the house though. I don't feel like lugging a fucking case of energy drink to the new house whenever I get in
Yeah.
there.
I honestly don't blame you. I just tried that Go Fuel that Tom gave me at Monster Mania. I had a really rough day at work, and by 8 o'clock I just wanted to leave. And that was like 4 hours into my shift, and I was beat, I was dragging. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take a half a day because this is fucking bullshit. Went on my lunch, saw the Go Fuel in my bag, and I was like, it was like a 90s TV commercial, Like I put it in the drink, and it was like, I don't know, it reminded me of like a Capri Sun 90s era TV commercial. I instantly got my energy. I felt better.
Yeah, you don't have to lie. You were like the black kid in those commercials looking at that purple stuff, weren't you?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna have to cut out after this.
Oh my god, I can say that. That is not offensive
Yeah.
to anybody.
I mean, you are allowed to say that since you're black.
That's right. No, I'm not really, but I don't know where you're going with that. Actually, I do know where you were going with that, and I don't. That's not funny.
Move on, shall we?
Just because I live next to Newark doesn't mean I'm black, all right?
I grew up next to Newark. I'm at least blacker than Jonty. Let's admit that.
I think everybody's blacker than Jonty. Except when Jonty wants to be black, then he's the blackest person we'll know. Which is, I don't know how that works, but it...
I do. I know the secret. Turn on 3-6 Mafia, and Jonty just, his blackness comes full out.
Or if he sees New Jack.
That too. If you've ever met our friend Jonty, he is like he's difficult to describe.
Yeah, he's an idiot savant when it comes to sports and wrestling, and just an idiot when it comes to everything else, but he's like lovable. Like I mean idiot in like the nicest way possible. Like he's ignorant to just a lot of things.
Blissfully.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And again, in the nicest way possible. But if you need to know who hit a home run in a Yankees game on, I don't know, June 2nd of 1982, he'll tell you.
God, right? I mean,
He'll tell you.
It's so ridiculous how much knowledge he has when it comes to sports related things and wrestling.
He's like fucking Sheldon Cooper sometimes. I swear to God.
Oh, without a doubt, and It amazes me, even still this day. I mean, I've known him for like a decade or probably more at this point. And the minute you think you have a fact right in like one of those two categories, history, like he just comes out with this like long-winded diatribe about how it didn't happen that way. It didn't. The details were mixed up and this and that, and you're just like completely schooled by the time he's finished talking.
Yeah, he's got some kind of. I swear to God, he's a mutant, and that's his mutant power is useless sports and wrestling information.
I'm telling you, if we ever decide to make a wrestling show on here, like he is going to be one of the main hosts because it's going to be interesting. He's going to try to interject New Jack into every wrestling scenario for whatever reason, but we think it's because it's his dad. But he's very impressive when it comes to any of that stuff.
We gotta take him to like a sports night trivia at a bar, and we'll just fucking clean house, man.
Seriously, like we get some money going and
Yeah,
shit.
he's gonna be our ringer. We're gonna. I'm gonna find some. We're making that happen.
I was just about to say the same thing.
We give him a plate of wings, motherfucker. We'll win everything. All right.
That's brilliant, actually.
Feeding him, that's like giving Popeye spinach. We give Jonty some wings, man. Fucking, it's not even a competition at that point.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not like we would have had to pay for him anyway. So like at least he's giving back.
All right, that's enough Jonty talk. Let's dive into. I guess we're starting off with horror news. So let's dive right into that.
It's all horror fiction, still a scream addiction. Cinematic gore and murder, it's horror fiction, not a fact prediction.
All right.
Movies cannot make it a killer.
So, sadly, we're not starting off on the happiest note. As I'm sure you've all heard, a couple days ago was the passing of just iconic and legendary character actor R. Lee Ermey. And while not obviously strictly a horror guy, he kind of bounced around in all genres. He really made an impact in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the prequel, actually. And it's just really upsetting just knowing how influential on just like pop culture in general he was. I mean, most people know him from Full Metal Jacket. I mean, that's where he fucking blew up. But he's got a lot more to his name than just that particular credit.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his IMDb page right now, he's got 124 acting credits, and I mean, he's just one of those guys that could walk in and out of a movie and just kind of like embody a character where he may not really steal the show, or be the lead actor rather, but he will steal the show with the performance that he's given.
Yeah, he had a presence about him that other actors, performers, anything in that field that they wish they could have an ounce of. He commanded himself whenever he was on screen. My personal favorite movie of his wasn't even a horror movie, wasn't Full Metal Jacket. It was a fucking stupid comedy starring Jason Biggs and Steve Zahn and Jack Black called Saving Silverman. And his character was just fucking ridiculous in it. Like just so goofy, but you loved him. And it was just, I remember after seeing that movie, I realized just how special this guy was when it came to just film in general. Just knowing that he could just be like the scariest person alive in Full Metal Jacket and somehow be a little bit scarier even in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and then you see him in this movie, and he's fucking weird, but funny, and again, like I said, it's just lovable. His range was limitless.
Yeah, that's well said. I wanted to quote somebody, one of the guys who always shout out Freddy in space. He had a very small blurb about him on the 15th that kind of stuck with me, and I mean it really made me like realize that this is the type of actor he was. And he goes, one of the truest testaments to R. Lee Ermey's show-stealing talents is that his Sheriff Hoyt from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is the single most memorable character in that movie. Not Leatherface, Sheriff Hoyt. He made that movie as well as its prequel. One of a kind actor. And like looking back at it, like we remember moments from that movie. It was a great movie for what it was, but looking back at it, that man is the one that stood out. Like he's the one that still rings in our memory. And like shit, I can't even tell you half of the other actors that played in that movie. He's one of the single standout roles, and it's crazy that a simple performance like that was able to put, I guess such a lasting memory in my head.
Yeah, the only other actor I know from the remake anyway was Andrew Berensky, and he played Leatherface.
Yeah, and he's a racist piece of shit, so I guess that's why that's kind of like stood in her head a little bit. I remember Jessica Biel because obvious reasons, but other than that, everybody was relatively forgettable.
Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else. I guess you really don't need to. And you know what? And that's not saying that either one of those movies, the remake or the prequel to the remake, they're actually not bad movies. Both are enjoyable horror movies for what they are. But you're honestly going to watch them for R. Lee Ermey's performance. You're not watching it for anything else.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember when I heard that he was cast in it, I was such a huge fan of Full Metal Jacket growing up. Like many other people, everybody loves that first part of the movie. But like when you're excited about a remake of one of your favorite horror movies, and then you find out that the dude from Full Metal being a sheriff in the movie, you're just like, take all of my money, take all of my family's money, give me that movie right now.
Yeah, it's so hard to explain. It's like whenever you saw his name pop up, it's like your eyes lit up, and you didn't care what it was about. You just always liked seeing his name or reading a story about him or watching a movie clip with him in it or anything. I remember he used to host some, I don't know if it was a war show or a gun show, and I hate guns, man. I got fucking no use for guns. But I remember it might have been on like the History Channel or A&E or something, and I remember anytime I happened to see it on, I would just go to it and just watch it just to listen to his voice.
Yeah, he had this like weird magnetic characteristic about him, and I wish that we celebrated him a little bit more while he was alive. I hate these moments where we're stuck kind of looking back at all the years of enjoyment an actor gave us, and it's just like one of those unspoken word things, like you personally get excited about seeing him, or you get excited about him being cast in a role, or finding out in the credits that he voiced a video game character or something. But like he isn't as celebrated as many people in Hollywood, like the big A-list celebrities and things like that. But like you don't always get this excited over like a Leonardo DiCaprio casting or something like that. But like a solid character actor like R. Lee Ermey, you knew what you were going to get the minute you saw that name attached to a film.
Without a doubt, it was like instant gratification seeing his name pop up in a casting list.
Very, very much an unsung hero of the like Hollywood in general. I'm glad that he's given us so much over the years, and moreover, I'm glad that so many people are coming out and expressing that, yeah, we felt the same way about this dude. We may not have expressed it all the time, but holy shit, in the movies that we've seen him in and all that, it was always a pleasant surprise. They were always excited to see him continue acting.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock to hear he passed away. I know he was getting up there in age, but when you think about it, 74 in today's world, not that old. Especially when you consider Stan Lee is 95 and he just beat pneumonia. So
Yeah.
So 74, kind of young when you think about it. And sad. It's just very, very sad. I urge anybody who has not seen Saving Silverman, go watch it. It's actually Jack Black in a very enjoyable role. I
That's a
know.
shocker.
I know. There's only like 2 or 3 movies where he's actually like good and enjoyable in it, in my opinion. And Saving Silverman happens to be one of them. Jason Biggs, who pretty much is playing Jason Biggs. You know, if you've seen one Jason Biggs movie, you've seen them all, really. And then Steve Zahn, who amplifies any movie, in my opinion. And then you have Steve Zahn is just one of my favorite actors. And then you have Arlie Ermey in a really strong co-starring role in that movie. Very important role, very funny role. If you have not seen Saving Silverman, just, go do it for me. You will not regret it. It is definitely a very fun, very funny movie.
Go chop her head off or something.
So, gonna raise my beer in, I guess, for a cheers. Remembering Arlie Ermey, gone too soon, but definitely one of those character actors that will not be forgotten ever.
Cheers.
Okay, guys. Next on the list, we go for something sad and somber to something very exciting. Something that really, really, I guess excites me. I was trying to think of a better word, but it just wasn't happening. But really fucking gets me pumped is the man, the myth, the legend, Monster Vision, returning, Joe Bob Briggs, to host a 24-hour horror marathon on Shudder Network. Yes, Joe Bob Briggs is returning. There have been rumors, inklings, hints for the past, month or two now, that we could possibly be getting a new version of Monster Vision. And it was said that it was going to be on Shudder. Well, while we're not technically getting a new version yet, I'm thinking this 24-hour marathon might act as like a pilot.
Yeah, it very much seems like this is testing the waters, getting his feet wet. Maybe even you know how comedians write their comedy and then they perform it before their big specials.
Yeah, their Netflix or HBO special. Yeah,
I'm thinking that this might be a little of that. Let him get back in his groove, and we've seen him live introduce a movie. I don't remember which one.
Oh, Reanimator.
And my God, he hasn't missed a beat. So he doesn't necessarily need a warm-up show per se, but a 24-hour marathon, a horror movie marathon, is certainly a good exercise, if you will.
And you know who else is coming back?
Who's that?
The Male Girl.
Oh, nice.
Yes, the male girl will be returning. So this was the official announcement. Joe Bob's coming back to TV. He's going to be hosting a 24-hour movie marathon on Shudder. That's right, 24 hours of Joe Bob's intros, outros, and of course, the drive-in totals. It'll start on a Friday in June, although we don't know which Friday yet. Well, there is a good chance that I might have a case of beer and a PTO day from work put in on said Friday in June.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Things like this don't happen anymore on television. So the introduction of these streaming networks and things like that, very exclusive to specific content sort of networks, it allows these creators to, stretch out and do things that TV network execs can't even fathom. They can't wrap their head around. So it's really unique that we're seeing the revival of this. But also, like, who the hell does a 24-hour movie marathon anymore that's not underground or like on YouTube or online or anything like that? So this is kind of exciting. So we might have to do something with this.
Yeah, my problem is I do not subscribe to Shudder.
I think this is worth picking up, at least for the month. And I've heard nothing but amazing things on Shudder about Shudder, and these events that they do. This is another one. They recently did one with Joe Lynch. They showed Mayhem with him. I guess I don't know if it was a commentary sort of thing or a live tweeting event or something like that, but they're always trying to engage their crowd, and that impresses me. So Shudder might be worth looking into, especially for this.
Well, a lot of these streaming services offer like the first month free for new people who sign up. So I'm wondering if Shudder does that too, and that'll be something to look into.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the fact that we work on a horror website, makes me think that, hey, maybe we should invest in this, because Lord knows we're always scrolling Netflix with the looking for the latest horror movie, and we find movies like Friend Request or something like that. So
Why'd you had to bring that up?
I had to throw that in there somehow.
Here's a new movie we added, and we think you might like it. You don't know me at all, Netflix. I thought you did,
though.
But you don't. You
That's
think
my
you
point,
know
though.
me.
Shudder probably is much more catered to the type of stuff that you and I enjoy. So the Joe Bob Briggs thing is just the cherry on top, as far as I'm concerned.
For horror fans who grew up in the 90s, and I wrote a little piece on Monster Vision about a month or two ago for Dead Entertainment. For horror fans who grew up in the 90s and, watched Monster Vision every week, hearing this is fucking Christmas in June, man. It really is. Monster Vision was a show where I saw a lot of movies for the first time. The Night of the Living Dead remake, Return of the Living Dead. I saw those and a ton more for the first time on Monster Vision. So it really introduced me into a lot of great films.
See, I wish I had that sort of experience. I have very minimal experience with Joe Bob Briggs, but he's always impressed me from what I've seen. Elvira kind of did that for me, because like there were times where she was around doing revival stuff and things like that. Plus, back in the day, late night television was kind of the Wild West. So like even if it was reruns, they would play it. So I got introduced to a lot of horror movies that way.
Yeah. I'm sure you weren't thirsty or anything.
No. It's like watching Elvira. You're just like, I will watch anything you tell me.
Yeah. Still looks good today.
Yes. She's a sweetheart too. I just met her at Monster Mania in March.
Yeah, Cassandra's very sweet.
Well, look at you, a first name basis. Do you know something I don't?
Don't get even more thirsty on me.
I'm just saying, like, you can hook me up or something.
You couldn't handle that on your best day.
Oh, absolutely not.
I'm not trying to say I could either. I mean, that's a lot of firepower for one man to handle.
Oh yeah, and we're talking about old women relations. All right.
Hey, with age comes wisdom and experience. I do not discriminate.
Experience. We gotta give Linnea a call.
That might be too much experience for me.
Well, I'm gonna say let's do that.
And I'm gonna say let's move on to some more news here. We got some casting news to talk about. Some interesting casting news for Stranger Things. Stranger Things Season 3 is adding a not quite a stranger to the horror genre in Carrie Ells.
And somebody that's just strange.
Yeah, and Jake Busey. Yeah. I don't have any funny Jake Busey stories. I think I ran into the guy once in the elevator at a Monster Mania, and I can't say I had a good I can't say I had an experience with him like his father. So, but yeah, from what I've seen, he's just as quirky as his father.
That's a good way to put it.
But it seems the casting people over at Stranger Things are able to pull in some names after the success of season 1, and then they brought in like Sean Astin,
which was a great get. He was like season stealing as far as I was concerned.
You know, they bring him in for season 2. Stupid update. And then, you know, bringing in Carrie Ells for season 3. I mean, that's a big name. He's very much loved for, you know, obviously Saw, but his big movie will still always be The Princess Bride. And, you know, I'm actually, one of my favorite Carrie Ells movies is a movie with Alicia Silverstone when she was a kid, called The Crush. It's a pretty good thriller. I would say check it out. I think it's a early 90s movie. Back when Alicia Silverstone was really starting to get like I think she was starting to get known for like the Aerosmith videos and stuff. So, and they cast her in this movie. It's a really, really good movie. I definitely suggest it.
I'm on IMDb right now, and it looks like he's going to be playing Mayor Klein in Stranger Things. So I think that's fitting. He's definitely got that like mayor sort of look to him.
Yeah, I guess, you know, he can come off professional and cleaned up, and yeah, I can see it working.
Yeah, going back to the favorite movies though, you know, like you got to give some credit to Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's a classic of his.
Well, of course, that's a great movie. I'm trying to think of what other movies he's in that I really like, and I'm just drawing a blank. You know, as I said, like The Princess Bride, but that's everybody's. My personal favorite was The Crush.
Unpopular opinion. I don't think he was that good in Saw. I think he overacted.
I don't think so. I think it was I think it worked for the position his character was put in.
That's a good point, but there's some moments in that movie where when he's like just completely unconsolable and like he was just wailing. It was like the director didn't know what to do. They didn't know whether to tell him to stop or whatnot, but like it came off so awkward and unnatural to me. And maybe that's how it would be in real life, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. It took me right out of the movie for some reason. I was happy to see him again in the later future series. You know, I think he was in like part 9 or something or whatever the fuck. But
yeah, he came back for not the last one they put out, the one before that.
Yeah, it was like his second last. Yeah, and I was glad to see him, and I guess over time he grew on me. But when I first seen him, I was like, "Good Lord, they could have got somebody better." And then I see Carrie Ellis, and I was like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?"
He was great in Glory with like Morgan Freeman and Matthew Broderick. If you've ever seen Glory, it's about this Civil War.
No, I haven't seen it.
Great movie. It's actually a fantastic movie. I would suggest checking that out. I forgot he was in Hot Shots. When I'm actually just looking it up now, and I'm remembering. I'm remembering a scene in Hot Shots where Charlie Sheen is carrying Carrie Ellis on his shoulder. He's got him thrown over his shoulder, and they're trying to escape some war zone-esque area, and they walk by a water fountain. And Carrie's character is like, oh, I'm thirsty. Can we go back and get a drink? So Charlie Sheen just walks back with him on his shoulder and like awkwardly tilts him over and presses the button so he can get a drink. I don't know. I don't know why I just thought of that scene, but I mean that Hot Shots, that's what it was. It was a spoof movie on like Rambo and shit.
Yeah, for sure. And this is another guy that, I mean, he's worked in Hollywood forever, it seems. So he has 122 credits to his name. I forgot that he was in Liar Liar. He was Jerry.
Yeah,
the guy with the claw.
No. He tried to do the claw.
That's what I mean. He tried to mock it, and it was just so white bread.
Yeah, and he gets killed by a tornado in Twister too. I forgot about that. I forgot he played Jonas in Twister.
That's a movie that I want to revisit. Like
I
love that movie as a kid.
No fucking reason to revisit that movie aside from just the ridiculous lines that they spout in it, and maybe watching Hoffman in it. Philip Seymour.
Oh yeah. He was like a very standout character in that.
Yeah, his character's name was Dusty.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm a big fan of Carrie Ellis, so I'm definitely looking forward to season 3 and seeing how his character plays out. Hopefully they give him a lot to work with.
Yeah, for sure. They know what they're doing over there. The acting's great, the writing's great. So even if he has a bit part, I think he's gonna kill it.
Well, I guess we'll wait. We'll see in about a year, huh?
That we will. I love how we just brushed over Jake Busey and just bowed down to Carrie Ellis. Like Jake's gonna be in it. We don't know what. We don't really care. But as for Carrie,
what the fuck do you want me to say about Jake Busey? I think the only movie I've actually watched partially that he was in was maybe Starship Troopers. And then
he's really popular for that.
And I think he was in The Hitcher too, wasn't he?
I think so. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, The Hitcher Part 2.
Yeah, I know, the sequel. That sounds like a movie he would be in. Like, let's just say he is. The marker quality over here.
I'm just looking up Carrie's credits real quick, and apparently he played Ted Bundy in a TV movie.
Well, that sounds fucking creepy and fitting.
I might have to look that up.
Right. The Riverman, huh?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's really cool going through actors' IMDb like this because you always get surprised by what you find. Like, even if it's a background role or something like that, you're like, holy shit, he was in this?
Yeah, it's sort of like YouTube. You can get fucking sucked into a hole and turn around like, oh shit, where did 3 hours go?
Oh yeah, big time. I'm a big fan of the trivia section on IMDb. I'll just go from movie to movie, and before I know it, I'm like, I was supposed to be at work 3 hours before.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So yeah, Stranger Things season 3.
Shaping up to be another good one, it looks like. So in more casting news, Bill Hader and James McAvoy are in talks to join It Chapter 2. I don't think they said what characters specifically, right?
There's rumors going around that James McAvoy is going to play Bill, and Bill Hader is going to play Richie. Yes. I know what you want, but you can't always get what you want. And
it
on
just
top
makes
of that,
sense. It works. It fucking works. Seth Green, man, he played Richie in the original TV series as a kid. Now let him play the adult version. It works. fuckers.
Honestly, that would be a really awesome casting decision, and moreover, it would be a true test of his acting ability. You know, like I've seen him in some pretty good stuff over the years, but I think this is pretty much, I don't want to say out of his wheelhouse, but territory that he doesn't often explore. So this is like if that dude could act, that would be the test, you know?
Well, you got to remember he was the only shining light in the only decent segment. Well, there was one other one in Holidays.
He's great in everything pretty much that you find them in, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I can't really think. I mean, he's been in bad movies. And when I say bad movies, I mean fucking horrible movies. But he's at least good in them. Like, there's a movie I remember watching as a kid, and it's just as bad now as it was back then. It's a movie called Airborne.
Oh, Airborne.
Yeah, it's fucking as bad as the fucking name. And he plays just a real weird, goofy character, and he's fucking enjoyable in it. What can I say? I love Seth Green. I've been a big fan of him since forever. Fucking ever.
Same here. I mean, I would totally agree that he would be good as Richie.
But, you know, that is just a lowly pipe dream fan casting on my part. I knew it was never going to happen, but, you know.
While we're on the topic of Richie, though, should mention that Harry Anderson, the guy that played the adult Richie in the original It, and also Judge Harry T. Stone in Night Court, passed away this week as well.
Yeah, I saw that. It was kind of another, you know, upsetting bit of information. Though I don't think the dude really acted too much anymore, did he?
I'd have to look him up to be honest, but like the roles that he was in really stood out to me over the years, and you know, it's always a bummer because like the original It has a very special place for me, and it was one of those early introductions to Stephen King. I was reading the books at the time, and the miniseries were kind of this weird 90s event. Like the 5 o'clock news would have it as their own top story or whatever, that they're premiering a miniseries for this movie, for the Stephen King novel. Like it just had this weird thing that doesn't necessarily exist anymore. Like there's a sort of, it was like the water cooler topic of the era. So seeing the book play out on television, regardless of what you think of it now or what have you, it was special for a 9-10-year-old, especially one that was reading the book at the same time. And his character of Richie always stood out because he reminded me of a family member of mine. He had that like I could see Seth Green's character turning into the character that Harry Anderson played. So, and he really stole the show later on in the adult portion of the movie, which is often less liked. So, you know, it's a shame to see somebody go because the 90s are far away. You know, it's been a long time since this movie debuted, and it feels like it was just yesterday. So you're like, oh shit, he's dead? Really? And we don't realize it's been 20 years or 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's what happens with a lot of these people. You know, especially those who don't act too much anymore or anything like that. It's like you see the name pop up and then die. It's like, whoa, they're gone? Wow. And then you realize, then you go back and you look and like, oh, they haven't worked in like 15 years.
He worked very sporadically throughout the 2000s, from what I'm seeing here. It looks like very small roles. I guess the 90s were pretty much the last of his, you know, true acting career. What he did after that, I'm not exactly sure. But movies are like, you know, they're time capsules. They capture that era, and you know, you're always going to remember him as that. You're always going to remember him as the judge on Night Court and stuff. And before you know it, 28 years go by, and you're just like, wait a second. He was just fine a minute ago when I watched it.
Yeah, sometimes you forget, you know, when these movies came out. It like you said, it sometimes it feels like it came out like a year ago, when it's like been 20 years.
Yeah, it's very crazy. But as far as the new casting, It may not be exactly what we want or whatnot, but I've been a big Bill Hader fan for shit since he was on SNL, since he was in, the Seth Rogen movies and all of that stuff. I forget the guy's name, whoever directed. But I've always been a big fan of him, and his more serious acting role shows that he has acting chops. So, for him to have a balance of the two, playing Richie in this movie, the adult Richie, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I do. I like Bill Hader too. He's got a funny little bit role in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's one of my favorite roles he's in.
Yes, he's hilarious at that.
But he's pretty good in almost anything you see him in too.
Yeah, without a doubt. And James McAvoy, I mean, not enough good things can be said about him. I'm a huge fan of his. He was incredible in Split. He is a great Professor X. There's plenty of other movies that he's been in that just like he has an incredible range. So for him to be able to pull off the role of Bill, if that's exactly who he's playing, that should be a walk in the park for him.
He's a good Professor X, but it's kind of hard to set yourself apart playing a character was played by fucking Patrick Stewart 3 times before you got the chance to play him. So yeah, I always thought it was just very, very large shoes to fill.
I agree, and it wasn't as daunting as I thought it would be when watching him on screen. I really, after following that show, I really expected those shoes to be pretty much impossible to fill. And excuse me. And one area where I basically finally said, yeah, this guy could hang with good old Patrick, is in Days of Future Past, when he was this pseudo drug addict version of Professor X, this really tormented version of him, like unlike anything I've ever seen in an X-Men movie regarding that character. And I don't know, I knew right then that he was giving us something special that might not be as good as Patrick Stewart, but at the same time, he came to play and he pulled it off well.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints about it.
Yeah, so it's really good that they're looking for some names, because recognition's always good, but names that could actually really pull this movie off. And I think one of the most important things here is to get these adult actors cast as well as they did with the children. And by the sound of it, with Jessica Chastain being cast on for playing the adult Beverly, I think they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I can't say I've had any issues with any of the casting so far that I've heard, any of the rumored casting or anything. Just outside of my own fan casting in my head. So far in my book, pretty good.
Jessica Chastain was somebody that was kind of like one of the most fan casted by the people that like the series in general. They've been screaming for her to be cast as Beverly, and as far as I'm concerned, it's an incredible choice to move on with or move forward with, and shows that they're truly listening to the people that are like, hey, this would totally work. The adult stuff didn't work as well in the original. Now's your chance to redo it, and you killed it in the first part. Now you got to kill it again. So it's reassuring that the studio's not being short-sighted about it, and they're like, all right, let's get the best of the best. We had a great picture. We made a boat ton of money, and it's time to do the second one right as well.
Yeah, it's not gonna come soon enough though. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. It looks like September 6, 2019 is the release date.
Yeah, it's like a year and a half away.
I know, but hey, I'm cool with it. Let them take their time. They just signed on Andy Muschietti. They brought on I forget the guy's name, but a good cinematographer. So it's shaping up.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll probably be getting some more news on that shit in the coming months. We say that about everything, though, and we usually do. So,
yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna wrap it up for us for horror news. But we do have some geek and comic news to discuss. So let's go ahead and dive right into that. All right, so starting off, Mad Max sequels unlikely to happen anytime soon.
This is just awful news, especially after Fury Road.
You see, I'm perfectly okay with it.
Really?
Go away. Yeah, I'm just ignoring my wife calling me from Vietnam right now. You know, I'm a good
It's all
husband.
good.
I'm a good husband.
We're recording, damn it.
Yeah, if she wants to talk to me, she can come on and talk to me and chat.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I personally, I know it's sacrilege and whatever, and I know you're a big fan of it. I was not a big fan of Fury Road.
All right, I'm looking for new hosts. Does anybody want to join me on this episode?
Did not care for it much. I thought it, you know, I liked all the practical effects and shit they used, but that's it. That's really all I liked about it. Did not like the characters. Didn't care for a lot of the actors and actresses. I just don't think it was. I personally don't think it was as good as everyone else thought it was, but I can see why people loved it so much. I'll watch it, but it's not like it's definitely not like Road Warrior. I mean, it's not. It doesn't even come close. Not even on the same fucking planet as a Road Warrior for me.
That's blasphemy, complete blasphemy. At least from a directing standpoint, that film is like a remarkable achievement.
I was happy with the 3 we got. You know, the first one's okay. The second one is a bloody fucking masterpiece. And I even love the third one. I will watch the third one anytime it's on. Big fan of Thunderdome, even though it kind of got a little silly. But I absolutely love that film. And I was hoping for better things for for Fury Road. And it just didn't deliver for me. But then again, I was kind of a purist. So recasting Max was sort of a no-no for me. But I get it, you know.
Yeah, it came at a really weird time. I have no doubt in my mind that Mel Gibson would have reprised the role had things not happened. But I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, and I think he pulled it off well. Did he pull it off as well as you know? I'll say Mad Max because Mel Gibson is basically Mad Max. No, he didn't. Mel Gibson put on a very unique acting. You know, like I can't even think the word to put.
Persona.
Like he embodied that character in a way that few actors can, and Tom Hardy did well, but he didn't pull it off the way Mel Gibson did. So I could see the complaint there. I just think the amount of badassery in this movie, the practical, the visual effects, the direction itself, the acting, everything coming from George Miller at how old is he? Like 70s, mid 70s?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How does a man like that pull this off? So to me, I'm a big fan of the movie, and it's a bummer that we're not going to see a directing caliber of that level from him anytime soon, at least in this sort of capacity. But that also opens the door for other areas for George Miller to move on to, being that the law we didn't even introduce why there's no sequels. There's a huge lawsuit, multiple lawsuits with his production company and Warner Brothers saying that they were shorted almost $10 million on the picture of Mad Max Fury Road. So as such, this is going to be a bloody disaster in court for a long time, and the likeliness of him working with Warner Brothers again is slim to none. Which leads me to my other point. What if you went and made a Marvel movie? I'm just saying that man could hang with the action. He is already tried and true and way proven. So, being that him and Warner Brothers are having a nasty breakup, I think Marvel Disney should swoop him up for a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie.
Star Wars, no, not his style. Marvel, yes, but it needs to be the right character, and you know what? It doesn't even technically need to be a movie. I think his talents would be better utilized over on Netflix for Ghost Rider, Blade. I've heard that they're talking about doing a Night Watch series. It's like, what? Fucking Night Watch? Are you kidding? That's awesome. Moon Knight. You know, some more of these darker characters where you know, violence is, you know, a thing.
No, that's a great point. I mean, he is quite the range. I'm just going by the, you know, visual spectacle in Fury Road. So like he could just waltz onto an Avengers movie if he wanted to and still pull it off. But I definitely see your point where you would kind of want him pushed into these darker rooted, deeply disturbed type characters, or at least, you know, characters that are just shrouded in this you know, less poppy sort of mentality, or, you know, like when it comes to the story and everything.
Yeah, you know, a character that I think he would be really great kind of giving direction to. It's not even a Marvel hero. It's actually a Marvel villain. But he's a pretty cool, unique villain. The Hood. I don't know if you're familiar with who the Hood is. But I think it would really... Or Bullseye. Again? Go away. Stupid updates. Bullseye.
What is it, Steam?
No, it was a fucking Java update.
No, I was seeing some quality decrease in this stream at some point.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 2 times. Nothing important though. That's why you mentioned updates. I was like, oh, that explains that.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. I have 28 dropped frames. How dare you?
Boom.
I've also upped the quality big time though. I upped the bitrate and I changed the FPS on the stream. So that's probably why there was a little bit of dropped.
Well, I've never looked better in my little box, so I'm glad that we're good.
I'm also just streaming it from my one computer. Because I'm not gaming or anything. It's not a big deal. Otherwise, I would be dual streaming on both my PCs. But there's no need for the podcast.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I could see George Miller fucking, you know, doing one of these darker characters on Netflix. Possibly writing the show, and maybe directing a handful of episodes.
Yeah, definitely show running, you know, or an executive producer role, because then he'll be able to guide the entire show for where he needs it to be or where he wants it to be, and that's all you need sometimes. You set a tone, and you know people pick up on that, and you know you can put in any director at that point once you set everything up, and you roll out the carpet, if you will.
Yeah, so I mean maybe it's possible. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean one door closes, others open, so who knows where he might head. I just hope he goes somewhere, you know, soon. He's getting up there in age, and I would absolutely love to see another Georgia. I keep saying I want to keep wanting to say George R.R. Martin, but George Miller movie.
Thought you were gonna say George Takei.
Oh my.
All right, so let's see. So yeah, no Mad Max sequels. Gonna be in court, long time. Get over it. Next on the list, Kathy Yan, who I am completely unfamiliar with, set to
Yeah.
direct the DC Birds of Prey film. But all the original news when it first broke a day or two ago, all said a Harley Quinn film.
It's looking like Harley Quinn's in the movie, and that's more than likely, from what I'm saying, well, my perspective rather, is they pitched Birds of Prey, and they're like, "Is Margot Robbie in it?" And they said no, or they may have said yes. Who knows how it went? But the overall point is if Harley Quinn's in it, it seems like DC is going to sign off on it. What I've read, a small blurb I read, was that when researching for the character of Harley Quinn, she came across a story for the Birds of Prey that kind of took her interest, and it seems like her production company is going to be co-producing with Warner Brothers. So she's basically getting stuff done at that point. It seems like DC Comics is like tremendous about announcing projects and then never going anywhere with them. So in this particular case, with her being on board to co-produce, we might actually see it move forward.
Well, my issue here is a simple one. They're trying to build this big comic universe in the same vein as Marvel. Obviously, they have the history and the characters to do so. They also have the two most popular comic characters of all time, arguably. Spider-Man might actually be more popular now, but there's no arguing that Superman and Batman are number 2 and 3, if not 1 and 2.
Right.
And what we have gotten to date involving Batman and Superman in this universe is less than stellar. And instead of trying to course correct and fix the issue with the two most popular characters in your universe, they want to shove B and C level characters down our throats like they're Marvel, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle like Marvel. I don't think this is going to work. Now, Suicide Squad was a big success money-wise. Somehow this movie made money. But the movie was not good. So basically you had a lesser version of the Transformers movies on your hand with Suicide Squad. Made a ton of money. Nobody liked it. Nobody still likes it.
There's one key, though, that people did like, and it's universal that they loved her performance as Harley Quinn. So I think that's the fire starter here.
Yeah,
I just think it's short-sighted for them to think that throwing Harley Quinn in any movie is going to be the answer. It could help introduce these lesser characters the way you were just saying, you know, like trying to catch lightning in the bottle. You know, it's like, hey, here's some B characters or C characters presented by your favorite Harley Quinn. It's not a bad mind state to go forward in, but are moviegoers, are they that gullible? That's what I'm wondering.
well,
Moreover, are they that trustful after the 3 previous poop factors? So, like, I don't even know what to call these, the other movies. Like, it seems like they're really trying to go and clean up the mess that Zack Snyder made, but they don't have that power yet to really say, hey, guess what? We're going to make a movie that stars Black Canary and Oracle. And you're just like, wait a second, huh?
yeah, it's you know what? There's only one person I know that could describe this movie right now, and it's Ralph.
It's got a death curse.
There's no other way to say it. It really isn't.
I'm very, very optimistic what the DC universe is going to look like now that Zack Snyder's out of the picture. But shit's not getting here quick enough. And I don't know. It's weird that they just keep announcing stuff. They pushed off Suicide Squad 2 so that they could push Birds of Prey, to the forefront of pre-production. So we're going to be seeing this before Suicide Squad. We're going to be seeing this before the Harley Quinn Joker movie. Probably before most of anything outside of like
Aquaman.
Aquaman, yeah. I don't think they have anything else ready in the can.
I would love to sit in at one of the fucking like production and writing meetings and just general overseeing meetings of this universe at WB or DC Studios. I just would love to see what's going on, what they're talking about. It's probably like sports results from the previous night.
What's big today? Females? All right. Do we have any properties regarding female? It seems like all their decisions are completely haphazard.
It seems like they're more of a what's the word I'm looking for? They do themselves. They're hurting themselves more than anything else. It's like they're just a danger to themselves.
What I want to know is what Chris Nolan had against them that they didn't meddle as much as they do. And moreover, can we get Chris Nolan back to oversee this stuff and like keep Warner Brothers at bay, from announcing stuff or at least course correct a little bit, because during, people might not like, The Dark Knight Rises or whatnot, but my God, he had Warner Brothers in his pocket, throughout all three of those movies.
I'm not a fan of those movies. I've actually come to respect them after seeing what they did to poor Batman in this universe. So I actually have a lot of respect for the Dark Knight trilogy and Christian Bale's portrayal of Batman. But so I would be on board just for that, but I would be doubly on board for Chris Nolan coming back, because I know that would make one little
don't say his name.
One little DC nut job. Well, he wouldn't be very happy.
Oh God, that weirdo would find some way to spin it and turn into a Dark Knight Chris Nolan fan.
No, that would be impossible. There's way too much shit, way too much videos, way too many posts, way too much of everything of him shitting on that franchise and Nolan and Bale and all of that stuff. So I don't see that ever happening, but it would be something amazing to watch.
Yeah, and on the flip side, I would get something amazing to watch. not him, but good DC movies for once.
So yeah, Birds of Prey. Not anything I could expect a DC fan wanting right now. Most of them are crying that they want Man of Steel 2 and a Batman movie. Oh, here's some B and C level chick characters. I hope you like them.
I'm very cool with it because at least two of them are okay. I'm not really experienced with Huntress, so I don't know for sure, but I like two of them, and have done well. Awesome, and of course, Margot Robbie back as Harley Quinn. I'm on board for it. However, it's a very weird choice to go forward with at the current state that they're in. So we'll have to see how things go.
I think the only thing cool to come out of that would be the fact that we would be getting a female superhero ensemble movie.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, completely needed at this point. And shit, Wonder Woman worked, and let's keep it going.
Yeah, I think that's the only really awesome thing that would come out of this. I just wish it was being handled by a better studio and with some better characters. But you know, maybe Marvel will jump on that at some point. Who knows? I think Captain Marvel is going to be an amazing movie and an amazing entry into the female superhero world. So there, you know, there's always a possibility we get some type of team up with her and maybe, you know, Kamala Khan and one or two other female superheroes. But, you know, I'm thinking way too far into the future right now.
And with the potential success of Captain Marvel, I think that might just kick open the door for this movie. So, like, I mean, it seems like a decent strategy at this point.
If
you know?
this
It's
movie
weird.
happens, all right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. All the DC movies are up for potentially point because they just keep announcing shit. But you know, like theoretically, it could work. You know, given the release slate.
All right, so next on the list, which is not really news.
Rumors.
Yeah, but it's not even a rumor. It's just them saying that, you know, Silver Surfer is still owned by Fox.
Well, no.
I mean, maybe they're just kind of throwing, you know, trying to use it to throw people off. Maybe I'll have a cameo. I mean, we got cameos of, you know, the Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I was almost positive that those characters were owned by Fox.
Mm-hmm. Well, what the rumor has been saying lately is that Silver Surfer is going to be appearing in Infinity War, and the Russos were asked that in an interview with Yahoo, I believe, and of course they're immediately denying it, playing a little coy by saying, "Hey, I don't think we own Silver Surfer." You know, kind of like not fully answering the question. So fan speculation is kind of going off the rails here. Generally, when it comes to fan speculation, it's all just bucket list, wish list items that we hope are in it. You know, Infinity War possibly takes place somewhere in space, so it'd be cool if that surfer just floated on by. But the likeliness of happening at this point, probably slim. They're probably right that he's not in it, but you know, a girl could dream.
I'm still expecting to see Adam Warlock, despite what James Gunn has said. I think we're getting him.
I could see that. You know, he's supposed to be the villain of parts Guardians, right? Guardians 3?
Oh, I don't think he would be the villain. I mean, if he turns out to be the main focus in Guardians 3, which I don't know if they're going to do, then it's very possible that and I hope he doesn't, that he somehow shoehorns the Magus into the movie, making the Magus the villain, which technically is a version of Adam Warlock. So, but that's a lot to cram into one movie. And
it seems like, to me at least, from Guardians 2, it seems like they're setting up Adam Warlock to be the villain via that group of people, the gold people. I don't remember their names.
Oh, the Sovereign.
The Sovereign, yeah. It seems like the Sovereign might use him as a weapon, and it might be one of those redemption type stories where he's going to eventually realize who the real enemy is, and then the things might flip. I don't know too much about Adam Warlock, so this is just my wild speculation.
Yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Volume 3 is going to probably end up going the route of trying to adapt either Realm of Kings or War of Kings storyline, which Adam Warlock is a big part of, but his character could easily be replaced by somebody else.
That makes sense.
That's just my opinion. Both of those story arcs were insanely popular. That was at the height of the Guardians of the Galaxy's popularity during the DNA run in the early to mid 2000s. And it is some of the best comic reading ever. So anyone listening to this, if you're looking for some good comic arcs to read, and you're a fan of cosmic stuff, go read the Realm of Kings and War of Kings story arcs. I promise you will not be disappointed. It is great characters. It's actually really funny. And before that, read Annihilation Conquest. It kind of leads into everything after the Annihilation story arc, but it's Annihilation Conquest is great because it's actually sort of like the first forming of the current Guardians of the Galaxy with Star-Lord and Groot and Rocket, and the early interactions between Groot and Rocket in that particular story arc. This is back when Groot actually talked and didn't just say "I am Groot." He actually said stuff, and it was it's classic stuff, man. I reread it every once in a while just because it's such awesome stuff.
I remember you recommending that to me years ago, probably before the original Guardians movie, because I had never read Guardians before that, and you actually got me into it. And you recommended me, I think, Conquest, Annihilation Conquest, and
So good.
I pretty much is that the one with Rocket sitting at the bar with Groot in the pot
No,
in the very beginning? Which
no,
one
no,
is that?
no. That would probably be the beginning of Realm of Kings, or War of Kings, rather.
Okay, well, I started to read that, and just like having no knowledge of Guardians of the Galaxy other than your excitement, I was immediately pulled in by the sheer charm of like Rocket talking to baby Groot in a little pot plant at the bar, and they're both like drinking. He's like pouring a little in the pot, and it's like all you see is these tiny little texts that says "I am Groot," and it's just, I don't know, the charm and the way that these characters were written, on top of like how they basically don't get along with one another and they're constantly bickering at each other. It just sucked me in right away, just in time for the movie.
Well, they're great scenes, but there's one panel in particular. It's probably my all-time favorite comic panel, and it's in the Annihilation Conquest story arc. And Groot ended up getting sort of almost completely destroyed, but he comes back as a sprig. He's not in a pot or anything. He's just like a really teeny tiny version of himself. He's like a baby Groot. And again, this version actually talks and he's very, very rude and just he thinks he's better and above everybody else. So Rocket has this tiny, angry little baby Groot in his hand, and Groot is yelling at Rocket to find him some sustenance. He needs water so he can start to regrow. And Rocket looks at him and just spits on him. Oh, it's so great. How angry Groot gets, it's just amazing. It's so funny. And Rocket's acting like he did the right thing. And it's like, you're welcome. It's so good. Just if you like those characters and you're looking for some good reading material, Annihilation is a good one too. But Annihilation Conquest is really great. And then Realm and War of Kings. Awesome stuff. Great villains in them all. A lot of great panels. One of my favorite characters that I hope pops up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and that's Jack Flag. Very awesome character. He hates cosmic shit, but he's still a great character. I could sit here and talk all night about those story arcs. All right, so I don't think we're getting Surfer in this movie. If we do, I'll be the happiest person in the world. Silver Surfer is my favorite character, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
Yeah, and he might be a little bit of a distraction at this point in time with everything that's going on. To just have him randomly pop up in a scene that's not end credit scene would be like, oh, okay, well, wait, what's happening here? What? I think it has the possibility to just take you out of the movie. Having him in a stinger, however, would be pretty awesome because that means they got something, and something's on the way. And for Marvel Studios to finally potentially be doing a Fantastic Four movie the right way for once, would be amazing. But again, I just think it's a lot of fanboy hope and wishes, and probably I'm going to amount to a little disappointment from people that are expecting him to actually be there. One day we'll get him. I don't think next week is the day. And by the way, we're almost at a week, man. 1 week till fucking Infinity War.
I know. I know. It's like I'm more excited than my wedding day.
That's horrible. I hope Tao's not watching.
I got married like 3 times. All right. So
That's a good point. Which wedding day are you talking about?
I don't know. Pick one. I got married. All right. Before anybody's like, wait, what the fuck? I got married 3 times to the same woman. All right. It's
Like talk about hitting it on the head. Like you fucking dove into that.
yeah. Well, it's because like if you hear somebody say, "Yeah, I've been married 3 times," like automatically they're thinking like Ross from Friends, you know?
Oh yeah. Hey, they're just like, wait, what?
But yes, I married my wife 3 times. But yeah, I am crazy excited. What's awesome is that I have a reserved seat. I got a theater with reserved seating, so my ass does not have to get there at like 5 o'clock for my 7 o'clock showing, so I can get a fucking seat. So that's awesome. I'm gonna roll in probably around 6:30. Gonna get me a big ass fucking like ginger ale. Get me a big ass thing of popcorn. Then I'm gonna hate myself because I'm gonna have to pee halfway through the movie.
Oh, I'm going right before the movie. I'm not having any drinks. I'm gonna hydrate all day. Like I am not getting up from that movie.
Now I don't leave movies when I have to pee. I'll hold it in. I'll fucking my bladder will blow up.
In my older age, I find myself leaving a little more than I've ever did. I never did in the past, and I think like during like Iron Man 3 and another one, I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. So becoming an old man and not wanting to sit through an entire movie is it's tough.
I need a soda, and I don't drink soda often, if at all, but I need a soda and I need a popcorn. I can sit down, recline, and enjoy this movie the way it should be enjoyed. So yeah, I'll manage. I'll deal with it.
I think I'm gonna rock the icy. I'm gonna be going to a Sinopolis theater that's right down the road from me. And they always have these like really cool promotional things. I gotta ask my cousin. He works for the company. I gotta see what they're rolling out for Infinity War. But when I went to see Black Panther, I could not resist picking up a Black Panther. It's like a Black Panther head popcorn bucket. It's amazing. I didn't get any popcorn in it, but it's sitting on my shelf right now. I couldn't resist.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be doing that. I think I have a 7 o'clock showing. I have to double check. It's gonna suck a little bit because I'm gonna have to sleep during the day. I'm working Friday morning at 4 a.m. But for a bit down.
Oh, you're going Friday, so I would have already seen
No,
it.
I'm going Thursday at 7 p.m.
Oh.
But I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So by the time I get home from that, it's gonna be a few hours of sleep. But then again, I'm used to it at this point.
Yeah, well, if you get home at like 10:30, you get like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and I think I'm off the Saturday, like the Saturday that follows. So if I get 3 hours of sleep going into work on that Friday, who gives a fuck? Because I could sleep, and enjoy my day off after that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'll probably come home and do I'll probably hop right onto my channel and do like a live, as soon as I get home, like a live review reaction video.
And you'll probably get mine on May 2nd when we return with Way of Life Live episode 24? I don't know, 24. I can't count.
Yeah.
But May 2nd, we're going to do a full show that's basically dedicated to the entire film. So kind of like if you're interested in hearing our opinions on it or just like hearing the recap, etc., go out and see the movie so you can kind of join in on the conversation. And You see it, you're bullshitting with us in chat. Hell, maybe we'll even bring a couple of you on Discord. Who knows?
That will probably be a spoiler-heavy show. My review when I get home that night, I'm gonna keep it spoiler-free.
And I think you might be writing something for that too. I think the powers that be might not be opposed to a Avengers review.
Yeah, I can work on one either that night when I get home, like I did with Star Wars, or I'll work on it at work the next day. Maybe I'll write 2 reviews, a non-spoiler review, and then an altered version with spoilers.
Right on. Those would be great to go off of as far as conversation goes for our show. So, those are always welcome. So you're gonna hear about Infinity War, whether you like it or not, many, many times from us, one way or another. So be prepared. So go out and see it next week. Next Thursday it comes out, and join in the spoiler discussion with us.
Yeah, this is a big event I've been looking forward to a very long time. Everyone knows, big Marvel guy, and probably most of you know that I'm mainly a cosmic Marvel guy. I love the cosmic characters, the cosmic end of stuff. So this movie is a movie that I feel was made for fans like me. And I can't absolutely wait. So excited.
Yeah, I echo that. I've not grown up on the cosmic stuff. I grew up on very minimal amount of it, so a lot of it I'm being introduced to. Thanos, obviously, you pretty much knew no matter what. But my excitement comes from the culmination of all the movies that have been tied together, all the TV shows, etc. And on top of that, if I went back in time and told the little kid that was reading out of order issues of X-Men and Avengers and all this stuff that one day we would be seeing this movie, I would never believe you. I waited 10 years reading Wizard magazine and reading all the rumors about an X-Men movie that would eventually come, and I never thought would come. But we got those, and we got the MCU, and I don't know, like it's just insane to me that we've reached that point where we comic book movies are, the mainstream, and they're being told as seriously as, any other movie out there, and arguably better than most movies out there. So it's a great time to be a comic book fan, and my little, young/teenage self would be very proud that we reached that point.
Yeah, it's... I can't really explain the emotions and everything. I get it. It's a movie. It's a comic book movie. But for fans, it's sort of what this channel is about. It's a way of life for a lot of people. And this movie, this universe, this culmination of 10 years of world building is almost unprecedented. And that's why this movie is going to be the biggest movie of the year, quite possibly the biggest movie of the decade, and one of the biggest movies of all time. This is what you call a movie event that only comes around a handful of times, if you're lucky, in a generation. So this is something, I believe, whether you're a Marvel fan, a DC fan, a comic book hater, it doesn't matter what you are, because of the scale of this movie and what it's representing. Whether you like comic book movies, comic book characters, anything, whether you like it or not, being this is such a massive event, it's something that I think all people have to experience. You may not like it, but in 20 or 30 years from now, you can say that, yeah, I went and saw that movie in the theaters. That's just my personal opinion. But I think if anybody who's not really interested in the movie doesn't experience it in the theaters, they may end up regretting it.
Well said.
And on that note, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. About that time. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. Covered a lot of topics, talked about a lot of shit. Good stuff. Casting news, movie news, all kinds of good stuff tonight. If you like what you heard, obviously smash that subscribe button. Come back again next week, the night before Infinity War, where I'm just going to be a giddy, giggly mess of a girl.
Yeah, I think both of us are going to be, like, we're both going to be wearing female undergarments. Oh, wait,
I don't know
what you meant.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how you prepare for a movie, but fucking stay away from me from now on.
No, we're both going to be just, I mean, like, if this gushing of Marvel made you sick just now, you wait till next week, and you wait till the week after.
So, yeah, you like what you guys heard tonight, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check us out over at Way of Life Net on Twitter, facebook.com/wayoflifenet. And also make sure to check out, you know, the shit we're working on over at deadentertainment.com.
Speaking of, are we going to announce that thing?
I don't think we should announce it yet, but we are getting really close to the next live commentary, which I swear, I promise, will go much better than my Friday the 13th movie stream. We're not going to try that again. Fucking Paramount.
But the good news is when we do it, it's going to be the same movie. So if you hung out on the stream last Friday, we're going to actually be watching Friday the 13th Part 4. So we're going to do a proper commentary, get a few guests in there, have a few beers, and have a good time.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't actually have the movie, owns the movie, they can watch the YouTube videos I was watching on my stream and just join in with us. We'll be doing the live commentary like we've done the last few times. We just won't be showing the movie. But we'll be watching it and discussing it, and you guys can watch along with us. That's how it works. But yeah, so just quickly, it was Paramount who was fucking claiming my streams.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get any strikes or just
No,
marks?
no strikes. No strikes.
That works.
Yeah, everything's still in good standing. What?
Is the video still up?
I think I deleted them.
No, I'm saying the video that you were watching.
Yeah.
Oh, of course it was. You know, heaven forbid, like, you stream it, but they're allowed to upload it. Okay.
Yeah, stream it, gets taken down. I bring it back. I filter it, alter it, speed it up, still gets taken down.
Paramount's like, stop showing our movie. The other guy's, he's cool, but you, fuck you.
So, whatever. Took lemons and made shitty lemonade with them. What can I say? So yes, that will be the next Dead Entertainment live commentary, Friday 13th Part 4. We'll be announcing that really, really, really soon. With a date, I mean. So make sure you keep an eye over on deadentertainment.com. Just quick shout-outs. Usual shout-outs. Gray Matter Art, Fright Rags, my buddies over on Twitter, John Squires, at Freddy in Space, at Horror Movie BBQ, who I might be meeting up with finally. I was supposed to meet up with him at Monster Mania, but that was just a fucking clusterfuck. But I might be meeting up with him next weekend if I decide to head over to Chiller Theater. I haven't quite decided yet. Yeah, I think that's it. I still haven't gotten, like, my sheet of shout-outs. But that's about it. That's all I can think of right now.
And as usual, I don't have shout-outs, so move on.
Well, you used to.
I used to. That was the time where I was less tired and lazy, less lazy. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to do the Jason Mantzoukas thing. And nope, I don't have shoutouts.
Got nothing to plug? Nope.
Nope. Still not on Twitter. But I'm actually on Twitter. I'm like Jason Mantzoukas. You can follow me at Ray Mungus. Do it. I just retweet shit because I'm too lazy to tweet. So, yeah, worth the follow.
Yeah, this is true. That is very true. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate it greatly. I should probably be doing another stream or two in the next day or two. Since I fixed all of my streaming issues. Was playing some Street Fighter last night. And I'm trying to get together with my buddy John. We're going to do some Wildlands. That game is so much fucking fun. So just keep an eye on my channel for that shit. Also want to send out a shout out and congratulations to Chaotic Notes, who won my Friday the 13th giveaway last Friday. Won a Mondo Friday the 13th Part 2 poster, which has already been shipped out to her.
And she promised she was going to watch this after the ministry show. So just saying, if you're listening, leave us a comment to tell us that you made it this far. I don't expect you to, but in any case, congratulations. Thanks for possibly listening, and hope to see you on more streams.
Yeah, she popped into my my stream earlier in the week, so good stuff. Congratulations again, and can't wait to see you post up your prize when you get it. So anyway, guys, we will see you next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for another episode, Way of Life Live. Thank you guys again, and remember.
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.